يا الطارش يلم عنا خط بكتابك بترحيبه لو سرابك ليلك وجنة بالدجا في الليل تسريبه
واسأل عنا له المنة قل علامات انت تدريبه مدعيكم غايب عنا والحكم ميوز في الغيبة.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. We begin with our first podcast, Cozy Cast, with our brother Abdurrahman and our guests, which we will introduce later. Our today's topic is basically about, his reversion and his story and, the difficulties he faced as he went in, and also the positive aspect. I'm very excited to see, when he especially does the comparison and all of that. We'll speak about it, but this is our first podcast, so to be uploaded, the edit, the number one. So what do you think?
What I think is today is a very special day for me because I have Sofian Collins with us. And that's
Yes.
it's a privilege to have, mashallah. Second of all, of course, as Munzir said, we'll be going through his journey and what else and he have struggled and what he have faced and whatever he would like to share. Also, we will try to discuss on few things which generally Muslims or people who have faith in Allah but they don't know if they are Muslims yet, they face
Yeah.
like the beliefs and the other things when they
And I think it is important also because many people who will watch, inshallah, would probably were in his same or are in his same position
yes
that he was in previously.
yes
And this will probably like shed lights into the, first of all, the feelings that they have, that it's not a new, different feeling.
true
And second of all, the difficulties reverts face. And thirdly, the improvements and development they see within their characters. And by the way, even physical and emotional and mental changes, improvements, I would hope, as you become Muslim and as you practice more the Islam and the Sunnah and stuff.
yeah, so we'll go one by one, but before that we'll go slowly. Yes sir. So
First, we will introduce him, yeah?
yes, you can do that. Okay, sir, what would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Assalam wa
assalam.
rahmatullah. You look cozy.
You
man.
know, it's pretty amazing
Uh-huh.
getting together with the brothers, especially on a cause that is not only beneficial to thyself, but to everyone. I'm Sofian Collins,
Yeah.
and I'm Muslim. I think this is the best gift and one of the rarest treasures that anyone could
And
ever
this
be
is coming
proud of.
from a revert.
Mhm.
So I'm very honored to be part of this cozy podcast. And I would love to share a lot with you as I learn from you, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, sir. So I want to know first of all, how did you get introduced to Islam? What was it about, and who told you and all?
I would not say how I got introduced to Islam,
Mm-hmm.
but the first aspect is way of a diversified person that has gotten in contact and interaction with many people from different whereabouts, different corners of the world.
Yeah, how did
And
that happen?
with the people around me,
Mm-hmm.
I had many Muslim friends, people from Egypt, people
Mhm.
from different places and all.
Mm.
But then I loved them as a person because I'm a friendly person.
And where were you from originally?
Originally Ugandan, but born and raised in China.
Mhm.
Though I moved to other places to learn maybe a language, a skill, or
And the
something.
Muslims that you met, that you mentioned, were they in like Uganda or?
Not really, not Ugandans. I have friends that are Ugandans, but not very close. But these Muslims, they are more of students, foreign students in Uganda, but from other countries. Like
Mhm.
I have a friend from Yemen who was a Muslim. And then this is a very interesting story that this guy is from Yemen. He's living in an African environment. He does not speak English. And then everyone looks at him as a misfit.
Yeah.
And then me, I used to be this kind of person who would be around and I would analyze, look at people, look at the
Mhm.
students. And because I love learning from them personally,
Mhm.
I would look mutual, look the same as them, but then we have many differences. So I got in contact with this person and everyone was afraid of them because of where they come from, because, there's that very huge negativity that is upon Islam and all. So him coming from Yemen, people would term them as terrorists and stuff. So a person has come to learn. He's paying his tuition. He pays the visa to be in a country or in a school.
And where was
And
this
then
exactly?
this is in Uganda,
In Uganda.
and people still don't feel at peace with him. And they, even if a person does not speak, the actions, there's that explosion of our famous word, action speak more louder than words. So you would see people don't engage with him. He's a little bit shy. Ugandan people are very friendly. They are very good, like-minded people. But then in school, things kind of change because everyone has
So you're
habits,
telling this
especially.
preschool? This was preschool?
Yeah, and this guy became my friend, and he was nice, mashallah. He was really nice. He was so nice. I would call him over to my home.
And this is when you got introduced to Islam?
No, not really. This
So
is
this is a very
this is way before, because
Yeah.
I've gotten encounters with many Muslim
Muslims, yeah.
people, very many Muslims.
Okay, can
Yeah.
I know how many countries you have been? One is China.
The
Uganda.
countries.
Yeah.
But
You want
let
me to
him
mention
continue the
them?
story first, man. I'm interested. Come on.
Yeah, but later on he got introduced to
If I can
Muslim
answer
friends.
both of the questions, but then the speed will run a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
And I want it to be cozy, because I'm already feeling cozy. I'm in chills.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alhamdulillah. So this guy, we kept in contact. The beauty about Islam, there's a famous thing, Jama, congregation, togetherness, unity.
Yes.
If you meet one Muslim, you're going to end up meeting his friend. When you meet his friend, you're going to end up meeting his other friend. So my network with foreign Muslims who are studying in my country grew up. And I started engaging with them, trying to learn a few words in their language. Salam alaikum. I like money. I used to love when I was jib frus. The frus is one of the first words I learned. Other words were not good. I will not even air them out. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, this is a fact. But then I got to introduce to them. I saw how good they are, despite the fact they are coming from very unstable countries. But they're not even way close to all these calamities that are happening. If you follow
Because you would
it more,
expect that someone coming from that part of
yeah,
the world,
you
would
think
be,
it is that.
yeah.
And it is because of judging people in a greater spectrum, in a bigger picture.
But before you continue, do you think they have a fair point in judging? For example, you coming from a certain area, do you think they have a fair point when they judge you before even knowing you, coming from a preconceived notion or something about where you're coming from and how they would? Do you think that's a fair, يعني way to interact with people, that depending on where you're coming from?
Generally,
Yeah. What do you think?
according to my profession, you cannot hold anyone liable of any offense unless you prove beyond reasonable doubt. So there's no any point, or anyone has the right. I don't even feel like as humans we have the right to judge anyone until you've proven that they've done this and this. But then I would actually side with these foreigners, because if this guy qualified to be seated in the same class with you, he has gone through. I feel like people have a lot of limitations. They're not exposed enough to know how things work. To get into a university, you will enroll, you'll do interviews, you'll pay tuition. To get into a country, you go through immigration, they'll check your passport, they'll do a background check and stuff. So I believe it is all about being taken over by peer pressure, by what they see on media, by what they hear from other people.
And you
Because
believe
how
they're
can a
justified?
terrorist be clear
Yeah.
enough to sit with you in class?
Yeah.
So I would judge them.
But I don't think they directly call him a terrorist, but they might feel like some of the barbarism, you can call it, the barbaric, that they might develop some kind of that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. No, but what I'm asking is, do you think they're justified when, if they're coming from these types of areas, like for example Uganda, the good part of it,
Yeah.
and someone from the known countries where stuff is
Yes,
happening,
there's also
do you think they're
political
justified where, like, until he proves that he is not
See,
like them?
I would like to address a human instinct over here. That is, if you have been brain fed from so long that this guy's a terrorist, or these black people are like this, or these white people are like this, you will have your own preconceived notions. See, that is common.
And
but
the
what
question
is,
is, are they justified?
it's not just, of course, that's not justified, but you have them for as your own protective mechanism. Now, when you go to real life, you meet with a lot of people, you realize, oh, this is not true. You still develop yourself.
Yeah.
But initially, it is good for your own security to judge someone. Like if you see a fat guy walking, sorry, you will be like, oh, this guy might smash me. But then you realize, no, that guy is a soft guy and all. But it was for yourself to get protected. You were a very
I
thin
feel
guy.
like there should be a middle.
Something amazing.
Of course, madam.
Today morning, I was watching a court hearing, a court case.
Okay.
It was a black man
Hmm.
in court. And the police officer that was accusing him of meeting description of a criminal they are looking for. This guy was seated in a park. Like, fully seated, like the way I'm seated, eating my fries or anything, just freely. And then a cop pulls up on me and is like, you are under arrest for this, this, and this. And then gets me on cuffs, takes me to court, takes me to police. Then later on, I go to court. And then immediately they ask this police officer, why did you arrest this guy? He said he's black, he meets the description of the criminal we're looking for. Like there is a general bit of, I would say, brainwash whereby people would judge you according to where you come from, how you look, and they will pin it all on you. And what was so heartbreaking is when they asked this guy, they asked him to have a police badge, you have to go through a procedure. If someone looks suspicious to you, if you look suspicious to me, I don't have any rights to arrest you, but I have rights question you and politely with all respect. I'll be like, yes, hello, Mr. Mondir. I would love to ask a few questions from you. And you will definitely answer because I'm in uniform. I have a badge. I'll ask you. And that is all. And if you feel like if you get anything that isn't contrary to whatever I'm answering to you, this is where you have to take another step. So I believe these people judging, that they would judge people because of their color and where they're coming from. It is because of what they've had. It is because of what they've seen. You've heard about people saying parts of people, Chinese people eat people. You'd hear, yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. You go to a place whereby you hear stories that I would say irrational and unnecessary.
Yeah. No, I think the balance for me would be it depends on the magnitude of the stereotype. For example, you cannot have a general all black are this, or Muslims are that, or Asians
generalizing
too much. But I would say, like, to a degree, it's human nature to, for example, someone coming from the streets of Compton, for example, let's say, we know what's happening there, or Chicago, or what, O Block, or whatever you want to call it, and he's wearing like them, and he's looking like them, and he enters your store, and you have a guy wearing a suit, enters your store. I would personally think you not keeping a double eye on someone who is from there looking like that, and giving him the same treatment as someone who doesn't look like that. There could be some type of you going away from human nature, and it's unrealistic. They could lie to you and tell you I would treat everyone the same, but I think that's a lie, because I personally believe that goes against the human. What I'm saying is, even if you keep in your heart some type of, okay, he's coming from there, this is happening, okay, it's not like a huge generalization. It's not like all black people are that, or all Yemenis are like this, or all Sudanese like, it's almost like it's more specific and shorter stereotype, where I'm not going to discriminate him just because he's coming from there, but I will keep my senses tingling more, until I make sure that, okay, he is definitely not that.
What you expect.
But if the generalization is huge, for example, all black people are that, then this is zero, like not even human nature,
True.
But if you're talking about specific, like, situations, narrowed down stereotypes when it comes to a specific city or a specific area, and especially if there are indicators, that you might be fitting into, I think it's human naturalistic defensive instinct that is from Allah Azza wa Jal, is to keep extra eyes on until when it is, but that doesn't mean you're going to
exactly. And you're gonna
discriminate.
Basically, you can have your judgments. As a human, you will have your thoughts, but
and this is natural.
Just don't pass the verdict. Have the judgments. Don't pass the verdict.
Don't.
You
Because
can
we
have
all
it.
make,
Yeah.
and our
We all have
producer here
conversations
like
in our head.
agreed to it too much.
Yes.
You know, he broke his role. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I get it.
And
So can you?
it is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But me, I would term that limitation to social exposure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's
Hmm.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
To social
You don't want
exposure. But
to.
if
That's a reason, by the way. That's
yeah,
a
but
reason.
because I'm not going to lie to you, if I came, if you met me a couple of years back and you found me seated right here, what language would you think I speak better? You would definitely think of English or something. But if I opened my mouth and spoke, you would not feel anything like Africanism or anything like English on my tongue. But I look way African and all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speak
Yes.
Chinese.
Yeah, and this is because this is what we all know. Humans create reality in their minds.
Hmm.
This is
True.
something about it.
That's perspective.
You can go in a
Perception.
thobe, you can dress up well in a thobe.
Yeah.
You go out there and you're not Muslim.
So they have
Your name is
perception.
Alex,
Yes.
Sir Alexander McQueen. Let's say you are Alexander McQueen. You put on a thobe, you put on your gutra, your igal. So well, if you go out there and sit, get your chai, mashallah. I'm very lucky I have 2 cups before me. Everyone will think you are Muslim. Everyone will think you are Muslim.
Because they
But it is because this is what the world knows. They know Muslims dress like this.
Yeah.
So even people can impersonate.
Yeah.
Someone can dress
See,
up as a Muslim,
even
does something weird that is very, very illegal and not acceptable in society. And at the end of the day, they are going to term it to a general cause that all Muslims.
Muslim. Yeah,
It is
yeah. And
not.
this is happening.
So we should always at
Yeah.
least have
So when you
enough.
said you met that Yemeni brother,
Yeah.
and you saw that he was not as you would, or
Not-
people
not-
has,
not
yeah,
how-
not as you,
yeah.
but how people would.
Yes.
So, yeah, yeah. Continue that. Like, how did you?
So when I
continue?
was with him, I realized he's more of a nice person. He does not talk because he has limitations with expression and language. In my country, everyone speaks English. This guy is trying to learn English, and a language you cannot learn it overnight.
Yeah.
Even if you are with people that you are free with, you cannot learn it that easily. It takes time. So he would be always in solitude, always alone, because he's trying to bond up. No one is coming up to him. Have you ever gone to a place whereby, hi, good morning? That is all. Like, you say hi, good morning. A person will not even give you a chance to be like, oh, hey, I'm all right, thanks. Give you some cozy feeling. Make you feel like you are safe. Like, just like the way people may have a lot of stuff in their mind, in their heart, they have a lot of affliction, they have a lot of trauma, they have a lot of pain. This person will never open up. The same thing to us men. We can never talk about what afflicts us. We can only easily break or vent to a person we are so close to, and it's most times our mothers. Because our mothers have a way of giving you safety. You feel like you are safe. They give you that point you can feel vulnerable, not to get judged.
So if you
to be
don't
listened
feel
to.
vulnerable,
So-
you'll not open up.
When this guy, I got comfortable with this guy, I'll even say his name because I love him.
I would not like.
Now,
He would accept
there are
that.
many. I can say he's
Yeah.
Muhammad. Are you gonna
mean,
look for Muhammad? There are very many.
But you
so
know,
it is
Muhammad
okay.
Yemeni in Uganda, okay, anyway.
There are still so many. Like even here, there are many Muhammadis who are from whatever
Yeah, yeah.
parts of the world. So the more we talked, the more we bonded. I realized he's just a person that is trying to learn, trying to cope up with the environment. And with that, when I started talking to him, I actually invited him to sit close to me because I always had my special seat in the front. I would come most times early or late, but my seat is always there. So I called him around so that I can learn from him and I help him around. So the more I was close to him and talk to him, it would draw even other people now to come and talk to him and whatever. So by the end of the first semester, he had gotten many friends and mashallah, he was learning very quickly. The first semester, he was speaking local language, a few words and all. And with that, life kept on moving on. I liked him as a person, but not the religion. Not in my mind, I had never had this feeling. I'm like, I'm going to wake up and I'm being Muslim. No, hell no.
Yeah. And then how did the...
And I would learn from him because part of the university I enrolled in was an Islamic university, subhanAllah. I was in a secular university, the best university actually in my country. But then I'm this kind of person who's not so into the enjoyment and stuff. I love it a little bit tough. I love it a little bit strict. I love it a little bit disciplined so that I can learn better, because my intention to go to school is to learn, excel, go out and continue with my life. So I chose to go to this university because it is very strict. Mashallah, people learn, people still have those Muslim culture way of where you don't have distractions. Because if you go to a secular university, you're gonna be seated there all serious and all you waiting to learn. Wallah, daughter of Adam is going to walk in dressed,
Yeah. And then you're like,
and then you're gonna be
what did the teacher
distracted.
say here?
You're gonna be distracted. I mean, it's a fact. If you
And then it
started
was
whatever,
separated in that Islamic university, or
no, there's
or
they
less,
they are allowed to mix up, no problem.
but they
But the dressing code
is
strictly. You're not gonna be showing up all your goodies and stuff. You know, us men, we have so much value to add on ourselves. But the women, they are born with so much value and they lose it gradually. We have so much to toil for, to have the legacy, the value, to be that man that can be acceptable in the society, in a family whereby a brother can entrust you with his siblings or can even invite you to his home freely. But a woman, each day in their life, they lose more value. They lose more value. That is why in Islam, I feel like that's why in Islam women are very preserved. This is why they are protected. They are very preserved because Islam definitely came to see how important this.
because it's deeper than just looks and
Yeah,
deeper
it
than
is
just
that.
all of these things. Yeah.
So with this, mashallah, the destruction were somehow cut off.
So you are telling me, you are telling me that men are born and they have to build a status,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
women, they are already born with a lot of love,
Status,
status, and
yes.
everything,
They have to
and they have to
preserve.
protect, preserve, and make it better.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what usually women do, they want to lose clothes, they want to lose mannerism, they want
Which
to lose
lessens their
everything.
value.
Yeah, which lessens their value.
Can I ask you
They
a question?
yes, sir.
You want to buy a car, right?
Okay.
Then there's this one car that you saw Brother Sufyan driving, and Brother Sufyan is not actually a good driver. He drifts. He's more of a person who does not fear a lot. He takes many risks. Okay, so this car is used by him. The next time you see the same car, you see it with another person. The other time you see it with another friend, and he has written even words on it, words
How the
and that are
value
even
goes.
obscene
Yeah, yeah.
and all. I'm telling you, by the time you're gonna sell this car, it's gonna lose value. That's the first thing. Even if you're not selling this car, a person who wants something really good, something that he can, because a car is very something important. In where I come from, a woman and a vehicle are one of the things you don't joke with in China. Because the car holds your life. You're gonna put your whole your family into it, and then you're going to entrust your life. We know it is Allah that keeps us, protects us, and all. But then that is why Allah gave us wisdom, gave us knowledge. He gave us knowledge so that we can reason. So the thing is, this has to do with women. You seeing a woman out there, she's dancing in nightclubs, she's all dressed skimpy.
Then the value
She's,
goes.
yes, I have personally. I one time my sister wanted to go get a tattoo. I'm always smiling. I'm always the OG around. But then I was like, were you born with it? No, I wasn't Muslim, but were you born with it? Someone goes, puts a tattoo on their body.
And
They don't
that's
even know
funny.
the
It's
meaning and
it's like
stuff.
your fitra was talking.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't know the meaning. Like, you see some, because you're seeing a celebrity out there, you're seeing Justin Bieber. There's that one famous artist back then in the days whereby this guy would take over everyone, and you see people getting obsessed and singing along them. I used to like music as well. I would even sing it. And my voice wasn't that good or very bad, but
It's
of
obvious.
course. What's she trying to say? So I feel women, they need to be preserved. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been in that life. I know it much more better by example. But even in a group, I wouldn't want that girl that is all out there for everyone, who smiles at everyone, who's hugging around everyone, who's talking to everyone. Oh man.
Because they have honor. So you went to the university, and I want to get to the point where you started knowing about Islam and how did it, and what attracted you and stuff like that.
I knew about Islam. I learned about Islam without intentions of becoming Muslim. This
Okay.
is how
How
good it
did that
was.
happen?
Even if I would show you my documents, academic documents,
Mm.
you would find me with distinctions as in Islam, but then it wasn't my goal. I'm from a background that has to do with being good at whatever you do. If you're gonna do something, be good at it. If you're trying to pray, pray the best way you can pray. So I used to learn to pass because I used to be a competitive person, and I'm studying with students that are great, students that are always in newsletters and whatever. So of course you have to triumph. Learned about Islam. I learned about the stories, the history of the caliphs, how Islam came into existence and all. And it was beautiful because the more you learn about something, the more you get drawn into it. But in my mind, I had a standing point. I'm learning this to excel, to pass my exams, to make myself proud, to be the best student I can be, and to be the best son I can be to my family. But then that was a glimpse of what you've asked. But I know what you asked. How do I get to accept?
Or be what
Or how do
attracted
I
you?
get to,
Because you do it, you mentioned that you did it for the marks.
yes.
What made the shift that I was doing it for the marks to, hey, I'm interested in this now? What was that shift, if
I'm
you
not
remember?
going to lie to you. If there's a person that ever answers that question completely well, maybe Allah has blessed them, because me, my own way, I did not wake up and be like, oh, like, no, I'm going
I'm
to do
obviously,
this. No,
yeah.
it was something that I had no control over. There's a way my mentality changed. My aesthetics changed, my conduct, my expression, my outgoingness. I started to realize things. It's like our eyes are closed at some point, but then when you get this kind of feeling of revelation, you start seeing yourself, you start questioning yourself. And something that is good, if you start questioning yourself, making comparison of aspects of life, and you realize this is not bad. Things that are normalized in society, you try seeing them in a different context. So I was like, I like this. Muslims, they work together. They support each other. When you see a Muslim doing some, you will see Muslims, they will support them. Even if whatever they're doing, they don't need the service, they'll support them. You will see that togetherness, that unity. Though Muslims nowadays, I'm gonna divide a little bit. Nowadays, Muslims expect fellow Muslims to support them. And because they are rest assured, my brother Mundir is going to support them, they get lazy on service quality delivery. They end up doing something that is not of standard because they're expecting a Muslim to support them. So this has to do with themselves. If we are assured going to support you, but please make our supports be worth it. You understand?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
So I started saying this. I used to go to church all the time. I used to sing in church.
Did you see, yeah, just to make a point and
Yeah.
understand is, once you saw yourself being more attracted to Islam, did you see yourself
Yeah,
going
it's
less?
balance. Yes.
No, did you see yourself like stop going to the church slowly?
Exactly.
You
This
saw that?
happened. This happened.
Oh,
It happens
that's
gradually. If you've been
it's
going,
amazing.
me, I used to love going to church because every person is my friend at church. And everyone likes me, and I'm always funny and stuff. People embrace me the way I am and all. But then I started realizing, I feel like there's that sense in you that is unlocked. You start reasoning, you start answering questions to yourself. I realized I go to church a lot. I'm always singing and all. And then I start to look at the loopholes of even the leaders in the church. I start looking at the figures. I'm not going to lie to you. Me, you cannot come and advise me to do something good when you do the contrary. I sort of have this thing in me. I love learning
From a learned
from
person.
yes. This is my nature. This is how
Like, for example, an
so
idiot is not going to. You're
Give
not
you a
gonna
benefit
accept
of
that. Yeah,
anything.
you're not gonna accept knowledge from.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there and all, and then I had to read more about how Muslims conduct themselves, because we all know we are sinners. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes in life. I've done stupid things that it may not even be age, it may be the influence, but it may be even the curiosity, it may be what I've seen out there. And I would definitely regret about it. But then I believe if I realize it is bad and I seized it and I choose the right path, this is part of tawbah.
So even before you accepted Islam, you already were feeling or realizing
Yes,
things are
in
you're
comparison.
doing are not good.
In
And
comparison, now I'm gonna tell you this thing. I would go to a nightclub with with this Muslim guy. I would take him because I used to have a little bit of influence where wherever I go, I can access whatever I want. I'll take him. This guy, I used to wear skimpy shorts that are up to here with my very nice designer original brand shoes and all, and then go out there. And then this guy, his shorts were always not above the knees.
You went to the nightclub.
And me, I would every girl around was my friend because I have sisters and all my sisters are my friends. And around this guy would not accept hugs. And in my
in a
country,
nightclub.
because if I come with you and I meet him, you have to shake hands, you have to
Yeah.
hug around because you have to embrace, you have to be
Yes.
hospitable, you have to be welcome. So this guy would not hug the girl. He would just be like hello, hi, and all. So me personally, I was observant. I was seeing all this. And at one point I asked him, why don't you do this? He told me, in Islam, we're not allowed to do that.
Whoa.
And he does not, he would never.
What's your first
Yeah, it was
you-
because I'm from a way, I hug almost everyone. I was more like a hugger.
So you understood that okay,
So-
Muslims are different, you know,
Yeah.
like you understand.
Yes, so in my mind, I asked me, if you tell me something,
You want to check.
I'll ask you,
Hmm.
why did you tell me this? What is the benefit from it?
You like
What
to
is the
reason.
secret
You like to
behind it?
reason.
Exactly. So when this guy explained to me and he reasoned with me, I found everything valid. He told me I'm able to save my money. They send me from Yemen. I want to spend it because I don't have any girl that is going to ask me to do this, and I'm not enticed, I'm not seduced, I'm not lured into anything because I keep my distance. Even I've read, even the religion says it. Despite how you can withstand, you can resist. Don't try it. Why do you even expose yourself?
Stay away.
You stay away, abstain. Don't be like, yes, I'm not gonna be tempted. No, because Allah knows. Allah created us knowing the creature he created.
Yeah.
He's well, he knows whatever we're capable of.
True.
So this guy's explanation, he was very soft spoken, mashallah. He was so humble. He was just a simple guy. But he's not the guy who even implored me to get into Islam. But he was a good friend.
But he
That-
exposed you somewhat.
Yeah, and he would
Started reasoning from
yeah.
that time.
So I realized I had to make a small calibrations aside, and I see, hey, if I come with $1,000 in the club, I'm gonna go out with no maybe $50. And this guy doesn't only buys water, whereby in clubs water is free. And I'm like, my money is all going, and this is money I toil for because it does not come from. I don't pick it from trees. Even if it's coming from my mom, she makes me work for it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like you had to do some chores?
Of course, if my mom could tell you, you from school, no, you know, you love driving, you're gonna drive,
And you
and I'll pay you.
and you began learning about it.
So I began
And
learning.
where were you like, okay, this is the truth?
Hmm.
Because I think, because look, I will tell
Yeah.
you this just as a point
Yeah.
is acknowledging that Islam is the truth, or acknowledging anything is the truth and what you're doing is wrong, is one thing.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But accepting that you were false, and not only accepting that, but leaving your what you were upon and going somewhere else, it's hard for your ego, especially someone like Sufyan. I know his personality. It is a strong personality. I wouldn't say it has a pinch of egoism. How did you? Because first of all, question number one is, when did you realize, okay, this is the truth? And second of all, when did you or how did you push yourself? I'm wrong. This is the truth. I'm gonna accept it. And how did that make you feel? Did you feel egoistic? And I'm like,
For anyone that is raised right, that comes from a family that is morally upright, they would teach you to take responsibility of your mistakes, to know always what is wrong, irrespective of anything. So me, even if you are a non-Muslim, even if you are a Muslim, I'm not a Muslim, even if you are of the lowest standard, and you come to me and you advise me, and because we can reason, we can tell, and I see it is right, I'm gonna thank you, I'm gonna respect you, I'm gonna embrace you, because it is truth. And it is very hard. This is one thing, and what you've talked about, egoism, it is the same thing that a problem I encountered with African teachers. You go to a school, these people, maybe they're not used to international school students, people that know many languages, people that know a lot, people that know a lot of systems and stuff. Take Habibi and you correct the teacher like this. This teacher is not going to feel happy that I have a student that is not going to see the good part of it, because they want you to follow like a shit. This is it. If you try to correct them, but this is that Islam is beautiful, that even in the way of correcting, Islam talks about how you can correct a fellow Muslim. You're not going to come and jump onto them in public and embarrass them and annihilate them. You can get them aside. I've been advised and corrected many times as a fellow Muslim, and a guy gets you aside and tells you, man, whatever you've done is not this and this. He restores your honor and your gratitude and puts you on the right path without even publicizing it. So this guy would tell me things, and because of how I was raised, I know if I'm wrong, I have to accept I'm wrong. I have to seek for forgiveness. So I'm not going to lie. Ego is not something you can avoid.
It
is not something you can avoid.
I think everyone has it, but it's how you control
but
it.
the degree varies. And the degree varies according to achievement, according to
Control.
Not only control, but the more you outwork people, the more you out-reason people, the more you learn more. It comes with
baggage.
Pride, with a baggage. It comes with associated accessories, and these accessories actually can be the reason to pull you down.
I agree, because the thing is, usually 90% of the time, I'm the person with the logic and everything. And after a time, what happens is you don't want to listen to anyone else. I am the right person, and that kills you. If you believe you are the right khalas, that day you're finished. You're not gonna
never
improve.
be wrong,
This is
that day you're done.
I'm siding with him. I have one very humble guy. He's very nice. This guy will always get conversations, and I have this aspect. I used to have this aspect of because of my legal career, that I'm not a guy who's gonna lose. You will never find me losing. Even if I'm towards losing, I'll find a way to look for a settlement. And this thing is it is corruptive.
Very corruptive.
It is corruptive in a way that it is not going to stop in the legal bit of your career, but it's going to also encroach on your social life.
Into your actual.
So this guy talked to me, and while he was speaking, I would cut him off. We call it oratory power and dominance. I can control you by
I do that. Ask him.
Yes. So he was doing this, and he's way older than me. He's way powerful than me. Subhanallah. So when I talk to him, I realize, Alhamdulillah, thank God that I take time to flash back on whatever has happened in the day. So I looked for a way. I got back onto this brother of mine. I went inside in his DMs on Instagram. I asked him, I sent him a reel, and then I asked him, do you think I'm a good listener?
Oh, what do you think?
That's
what
a
do you
tough
think?
one.
Because I had already realized it. I asked him, do you think I am a good listener? And I gave him a soft ground to be expressive.
Which is
I'd be like,
How did you do that?
because I knew, no, you can come and ask me something because I love you. I care about you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm not going to tell you what you have to hear, but I'll tell you what you want to hear. So I told him, be honest with me. This guy told me, you are capable of many things. You are very good at many things.
Not listening.
But listening, and I knew because I kinda, he told me, you're good at many things, but you kinda don't listen. You think
He's smart,
No, he told me
in a good way.
no, yes. And it is true, because I would always calm him off, get him off. I would not let him drive.
I like the way he put it. You're good at many things.
Have you ever been driving? Have you ever been driving?
Even that is his own skill, because he has
have you ever been
friends
driving? You driving, and someone is coming from the back. Yeah, you see them putting the overtake light, you block them, they cannot take you off. And then you get back. You see him coming, you block them. So this is how lawyers do most times. They always get
into
valid
your
things.
actual actions.
So this thing shifted from my career, and it also encroached
to
on
your
my
actual life. Oh,
whereby you are always defensive,
yeah.
you always keep your guards up.
Yes.
And if you get this aspect dig into you, you'll never be advised, because no one is smarter than
so
anyone.
egoism.
So it is part of ego,
Yeah. And how
but
did
enhanced
you
by
control
something.
that when it
Yeah.
comes to you
It is
acceptance?
accepting. You can, if you want, if you are weak and you don't accept you're weak, you ain't gonna boost your strength. You need to accept you don't know. You need to accept, you need to learn. I'll draw you back to the advent of Islam, to our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he was in the cave. This man was a farmer, a little boy who did not even learn, who was not civilized at all. Angel Jibril, Malaika Jibril came to him, and then he was told to read. He was told to read. He accepted. I'm telling you, he accepted wholly. I rear goats, camels with my aunt and stuff. I can't read. Ikra, I can't read. He accepted. If you don't accept you are wrong, you will never be corrected. If you can't accept you are not perfect, you will never get any closer to perfect. So you have to accept what you are, because that will give you a reason to learn more and to embrace whatever good thing that God may bestow on you. And it takes effort. So he said, I cannot read, but Allah knows. Allah sent the angel, the messenger. Rest assured, because Allah is capable of everything. He does. He wills, and His will is always done. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was even at some point they had to crush his ribs interlockingly. I don't know if you can stand my grip. Do you want to stand my grip?
No, sir.
If I give you my grip, you're going to be like, oh, you will seek help. I did something to you last time, like, and you felt it, and it is something. Now imagine someone interlocking your ribs across. If you find someone who's very narrative, who's a little bit poetic, and soothes up a story, trust me, the pain that is up to this, it is not pain that you can severely just maneuver over and be like it is. So we need to accept we don't know a lot. We need to accept we are wrong. We need to accept that we are supposed to learn from many things. When he accepted that, he started learning. He started learning. He started reading. But he also had doubts within himself. I'm not going to lie to you. It is okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to feel like you're not good enough. It's okay to feel like everything is overwhelming. Because even when Malaika Jibril got the calling, when Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got the message from Malaika Jibril about spreading Islam, he ran to his wife, Khadija. He was like, "Ya Khadija, me, Muhammad, a peasant, I'm not close to any of these mighty Quraysh Meccans or whatever. How am I going to spread this message?" He doubted himself because he was just a boy. Just a boy of 15 or whatever. You tell them, you come and tell Umar you're going to be the president. Tomorrow he'll tell you president, because it's not something easy. Presidents are always having guns and
I
whatever.
mean, imagine this. He was a man who was, by that time, he was 40 years old, and he was in Mecca, and people respected him and everything. And even though he was feeling these spirituality, that's why he would go up the mountain and come down, which shows you strength. Actually, if you go now to Mecca and see the Haram, how you go there, it's stuff.
Still a young man, though.
I mean, obviously at that time, 40 is like where you're matured now,
14.
Matured, but
40 is 40.
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah. So after that, obviously having to accept that now he's and then this shows you the importance of a good woman, where she shows you the like value of a real woman, where when she imagine he comes a man, imagine this, okay? Don't be a woman for now, okay? But just imagine this. You are at your house as a wife, and the man comes to you, and he tells you, an angel came to me, and all of that, and this was happening to me, and
Subhanallah. And she
be like,
believes.
Get out of here.
Even me right now, I'm not going to lie to you. Brother Mundil, you come tomorrow and you tell me you saw an angel?
I mean, but imagine she was like,
a woman.
no, Allah would never disgrace you. You do this, you do that. and she comforted him. This is a real woman. So going back to our point, you accepted Islam. How
Yes.
did that happen? Like the actual story where you accepted Islam.
The actual thing is,
You put your ego aside, you put
I was
everything.
this kind of happy guy who loved exploring the world, doing whatever I want at my convenience. So that goes back to the tournament of World Cup.
Okay.
I'm not a soccer fan. I'm not good at soccer.
You even call it soccer, so even that alone is
Yeah, exactly. But
that alone.
but then
Yeah.
but then the only thing that I love about myself is the curiosity. I may not love something, but I will get curious about it, and I want to learn about it. I want to talk about it. I want to be in a community that talks about football where I have a clue about it. So I was like, "Nah, I need to go watch the tournament. I got my flight tickets.
Oh,
I
you
got my
actually came
hotel."
to Qatar.
So I came
Whoa.
in 2022 to watch.
So was that the first time?
It was my first time, my very first time to come to Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
I was here, I was enjoying, I was, living my life. It is fun to be a tourist, because I'm just here for a short time, doing whatever I have to do, and then after all that, disappear. You do it just like as a young man,
Yeah.
because we need to enjoy.
And how old were you when I don't expose your age?
But
But
my age is pretty amazing that no one can forget it. The year you in is my age.
22.
Habibi, you don't pay rent, I see.
No, you were
You're talking about the year we in now or the year by then?
no, but
2022,
2022. Yeah.
smart. That's amazing.
Wait,
So I was 22.
On 2022, I asked him how old
He was
he in
22,
2022.
right?
He
No,
was
you
22.
said, I said the year we are in is the age I am. And then you said 22.
Yeah.
So I basically knew you're
Yeah.
talking about the
So, but,
tournament.
Good.
So I was 22 then. And
So
22.
were you Muslim by then?
no,
right?
We're saying how did he become?
Read
that means-
this name. Read
Okay.
this name here. What does it say?
I can't see. What does it
Get
say?
your glasses on, don't worry.
I don't have.
Really, you can't see. Take it off, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Sofian
expose
Collins.
him, man.
Sofian Collins.
Okay.
How? You know these letters, if you show it like this, it may look upside down.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it do?
Sofian Collins. These may be things beyond your understanding, because pursuing this degree is not sound easy. So let me enjoy the benefits of being a counsel.
Yeah, first of all, wait. People are
Yeah.
confused. What legal shit you are in? Are you a lawyer?
I'm a lawyer, and
And we're gonna plug him afterwards. He's gonna tell us about himself.
so
Okay.
But I'm very interested about this story.
Of
now.
course.
so I came here. I
Hmm.
get my hotel. I still remember well. It is Hilton Inn. I was
Mhm.
Okay.
there in the
Mashallah.
first match. This is how good I am. I remember the first match, the opening match. I believe it was Qatar playing some country, and it was Al Bayt Stadium.
Mm.
Yeah, it was playing Ecuador, mashallah, at Al Bayt Stadium. I went. I met many people that know me, and then there were many famous people around that I maybe have connections to, and all. I was enjoying. It was fun, because there was an intersection of different cultures, different races, different nationalities, and it was fine. It was explicitly amazing. One of the matches I remember, it was at Education City Stadium. I come to meet an old friend, a person I've not. You have like you meet me today. Oh, we've been childhood friends. We are kids, like kids. You do
Mhm.
trouble together. You go. When I was a kid, I used to love making trouble, make those very loud sounds, go to other people's. Like how kids be. How
Yeah, I see. I saw just 1 hour ago, one guy was catching a gun and enjoying it.
Yeah, so we used to do a lot of trouble together. This boy, the father was Egyptian, the mother was British.
I like your accent there.
No, you don't have to mind it. If I give you the African accent,
Oh.
you will not. You will. I love Nigerian accent.
I
Despite the
do
fact I'm
too.
not
I do too.
Nigerian.
Actually,
So
you can speak a little bit of that.
when
Give us
I
a show.
when I met this guy, if I've seen you, that is why I don't ever make trouble with me, because I will not forget this trouble. I'll forgive you. I will chill for my own wellness. But if I see you, this is why Islam teaches us to be very well mannered, to be very hospitable, because the impression you give on a person,
Hmm.
if it is very good, if it is very bad, despite how long they will take without seeing you, if they see you and they remember you, they will only remember you for that. If you
Yeah.
hurt them, they will remember the pain.
So you messed with him or he messed
So
with you?
no, we didn't. He was a very good friend.
Okay.
You know what makes friendship very close and very deep?
And you know what's funny? I want you to search about this psychologically. When he mentions, and you don't want to mess with me, my instincts instantly got aggressive with him. And I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah. I don't know what this is. You know,
No,
like,
this is
it's
part
almost
of
like a
ego.
manly, it's like the man
This is
instinct. You know,
how this
where
is
you-
how man once walked the ground.
This is part of
it's
ego.
funny.
This is part
No,
of
no,
ego.
I'm telling you, like, I actually want to know what this is. Like, a lot of time when Sofian mentions, like, something aggressive, like, my grip or your,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see your grip. What's up? You know?
Narcissism.
Narcissism.
No, but I agree. I agree.
It's funny. It's
if
like
anyone who's younger than me challenges me to do something,
he's older than me. You know?
Yeah, I'm older than all of you here.
4 years older than me.
I'm older than all of you here. Just because I don't have a beard, you think I'm baby.
Okay, sir, I agree. But this is even within me that if someone tells, "Can you do this?" I will. If it's a challenge.
Now, for me, it's like more of the aggressive side, the
This is
violent side. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
This
you know?
is where
Let's get down. You
this
know?
is where I feel a person can inspire you, can lure you into wellness. If you get a speaker that is amazing, he can be a good speaker, but what message is he circulating? Imagine Allah has blessed you with the voice of you have this charisma in your speech. You can speak to people's hearts. People will draw all their attention to you.
Yeah.
And imagine you are giving out a message that is contradicting.
But we
what
don't want
is
to
right.
throw hands in front of
So
the camera.
now this is what even leaders do.
Yeah.
A leader may get a mob, entice them, stimulate them, get their adrenaline high, and then get all these young men into trouble. Because this is what you're saying. If I spoke about something, you feel yourself, it is like you are.
No, it's mostly about
switched
the violent part because I feel like I have this issue, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
You're
like,
a teenager, man. Come on.
you know, like I don't know.
He called you a teenager. He called you a teenager.
I mean,
I
I
know
just passed teenage.
mashallah.
I just passed it. Yeah.
You're still a
It
teenager.
could be a problem. That's why I'm saying, like, I really want to know this because a lot of time, you know, like, hey, you know,
It's less wisdom, you know. It's out of
yeah,
less
could
wisdom.
be.
This guy, his name was Ahmed.
Yeah.
When I saw this guy, subhanallah, he was not remembering me. But I was remembering
You remember everything. You're a good lawyer, man.
him. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
But I saw him. I took a minute and I saw his head. He has a very beautiful head, an ugly head. Subhanallah. But it is in jokes because I don't think boys never. If you come and tell me those things and you're a boy, I'm gonna start doubting you. Like, how would you come and tell me how handsome I am? I'm not a girl to be told that.
Exactly.
Because I've not seen a man working clean. I'm telling you. No. I'm not gonna lie to you. You are still in this generation, Habibi. You think I'm always looking like this? No. These nails, you see, they will be dirty and stuff because
No, I don't do that though.
No, I'm telling you, if you work in a dirty place, you're gonna look dirty. But what is the beauty about it is that when you're done with whatever you're going to do, you clean yourself. Al-Islam nadhif. Muslims are rated to be the most hygienic people in the world. You can look it up. So I meet this guy, I see him, and then I tell him Ahmed. I called him his nickname when we were kids. No, it is like someone calling you a nickname, and when you hear it, you definitely know this person knows me.
Of course.
Like there's that code, there's that cheat code, something a person can say. It is like someone comes and tells Mondil, "Can I have a smile?" Deep inside, of course, Mondil will know I'm not a smile. This person knows I don't smile a lot. So I talked to him. I was like, "And do you know how many years it had taken without us meeting?" I think it was like over
15,
approximately 12 to 15.
Yes.
We talked. We had fun. This guy he settled in London. Alhamdulillah, he was living there, and because of this, we got together. We spent time together and all. And the way it was really so amazing is that at one point we were watching a match, and this match was football. Football is not football. Football can get into your head. People will do even crazy things for soccer. I'm telling you.
I've seen that.
There's a way it intrigues people. It gets their adrenaline high. They get the energy, and it also saddens them in a way that even a husband will go back home and does not even want to smile to his wife, sorry for the blunder, or the children because his match lost the previous match or whatever.
I mean, you see
But
people fighting.
time came for Salah, a match is going on. This guy told me, and he paid VIP and whatever. He told me, I need to pray. I was like, Yallah, I'm not leaving. I'm enjoying. Celebrities are all here and whatever. I'm not going to take any pics with celebrities. I don't do that, to be honest. But then just me being amongst you, it means there's something about me that makes me qualified to be amongst you. So I don't run to any human for clout and whatever, because he's only human. So he goes and does this. He prays. When he prays, he comes back. He sits. I spend more time with him, and then he would talk to me about stuff. This is a person that is in London, and not only London, he would be in Liverpool. He would go to even the South Londoners where people are muy bad. There's many gangs, there's a lot, but you would see he's in a community that is, I would say, I was going to use that F word, but then, Alhamdulillah, my tongue is changing gradually. That even if I have now control, I can feel it coming, and I can control myself.
Stop it. Right.
Yeah, there's one brother that would always be on my head and be like, you need to work on this. And me, I'm a big head. You tell me something, I'll do the exact, because I want to try you to see.
I'm telling you, this instinct, man.
Yeah.
Men are just like this.
Maybe I have it more.
Africans.
What are you saying?
It is men.
Hey, man, I think I mean, you're between two Africans, man. We can close this camera off, and all of a sudden, Abdurrahman is not
we can give him a break, and then we get back to that. And you are forced to smile, Habibi. If you don't smile,
that is why I'm laughing, guys.
So I felt with the time I spent here, my visa was 1 month that time. This time I spent here, I was like, I need to give a try on this praying and all. So I started praying. I realized it is more of a soothing self time, whereby you have time, you have tranquility, you have harmony, you have time for yourself. Ponder about whatever transpired in that day. You have time for yourself, the time for prayer. And me, I wasn't doing anything. This is how weird it was. He was praying. I didn't know how to pray. But then in my mind, I believe there's God. God, and I would be talking in English. I'll be like, oh God.
And you do the same Muslim, what the Muslim does?
Copy, I'm just imitating. So I realized this thing is giving me peace. Like, it gives me peace because I get time to relax. Screen time, I had issues with my screen time. It is not, this device is very dangerous. It is meant to ease life, but then it can control you if at all you get so addicted to it. So I would get these few 10 minutes. When he's praying, I pray with him for fun, because I should do whatever I want, and I'm like, I'm not hurting anyone.
You like to explore also. Yeah.
So I be there, but it gives me peace. I have time to think about myself. I'm chill. I'm relaxed. Then it became I came up with an ideology that something can be hard in the beginning. Then if you really like it, if you really want to work on it, you'll make it a routine. And when you come up with a routine, it will eventually become a lifestyle. This is how Salah is to the Muslims that are Sida. So, and I come up to the great analogy that I would say, repetition breeds perfection. If you repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, you be perfect. I used to teach myself Quran, and I accept I have many questions sometimes. I would read, and the one person would always listen to me and was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? But because I know I can do it. Even if you do this, and then I try to learn. But the more I'll do it, it gets softer on my tongue. It gets soft on my tongue.
That's before becoming a Muslim?
What?
That's before.
No, that one was after Muslim. I used to learn one, but in English, just for my academics. That is all.
What about the?
So when I was with him, this was the guy. This was the game breaker. This was the game break. When I was with him, I realized how he conducts himself, how he talks to his mom. Because when I was watching soccer, if I'm with my mom and I'm doing something bad, because I know my mom is very, even if, because we can be doing this, and when a parent calls, everyone shuts up. when you shut up like this, my mom will know there's something wrong.
Wow.
Because you try to be perfect. So this guy, I told him I want to be Muslim.
Whoa.
But after some time, he was like, okay, I take my first Shahada.
Your first.
My first. And I was like, but it was more of sort of a joke. I accept Islam and all. He was very happy. He took me out to eat. I enjoyed eating. Not that I love eating, but it was amazing, catching up with someone you've not seen in ages, like almost half, 1.5 a decade. So it was amazing. Then time came to part ways. He was like, I'll create time and I'll travel and come see you because my family loved him when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I got back to my country. I carried on with my life.
But you didn't
But
begin praying and stuff like that.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't lie.
So you just
I
said
wasn't praying, but the shahada, I made the
just the
shahada, but then I kept on. I would even still go to church
Oh,
because I'm a very obedient son,
yeah.
and these churches are our churches.
Yeah.
We own the Chinese Christian churches, so I would go, but then I would have this conviction in me. You are in church. I go to church.
Yeah.
I'm in church, but I have this conviction in me. You made a covenant with yourself.
This is what I was about to ask you.
So
Yes.
you made a covenant with yourself. So I started chopping.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
So you became a Muslim or said your Shahada in Qatar.
Alhamdulillah.
You went back home. Did you begin praying and taking it seriously when you went back home to Uganda after
the World Cup?
after saying the Shahada in Qatar?
No, actually, I would pray once in a blue moon, and I had many barriers towards all these ways of being a Muslim because there is those compulsory things every Muslim should do, and praying is amongst them. But then I wouldn't. The Islamic way of praying is not the way other people pray. You need a place that is calm. You need to be clean, and these are new things. Ablution, call it wudu.
Yes.
It is not some that I actually knew about. And then the other thing is, no one knew about me being Muslim besides the person I took Shahada with, and then myself. So I would pray once in a blue moon, especially when I'm at the university. I would go and pray with
So you had
brothers.
your mind. You knew you were a Muslim.
Yes. Now in my mind I knew I was Muslim, but I kept on doing other things. By that time I had a girlfriend.
You went to the church also and stuff.
Yeah, I would go to church, but then the times I go to church would change. Sometimes I would go, like in a week, we would go to church 2 times because the churches are ours. So I would start chopping churches on Sunday, that compulsory day. Sometimes I would not. Sometimes I would not even go back home, stay at my apartment because I was at uni, and most of the uni students, most of them maybe in halls, hostels. I had an apartment. So, and every Sunday it was a rule I have to go back home, have family with lunch, dinner with family, sleep home, so that they can see you and then progress. So I started chopping going back on Sunday because I don't want to go to church. I did it for a couple of I skipped 3 Sundays. My mom had
In
to
a row.
intervene.
In a row.
In a row. My mom had to intervene. Told me, why don't you come to church? Members are asking about you. Is university really this stuff? We don't know as that guy that is afraid of academics and whatever. This guy that can can go out to have fun, while tomorrow you're having national
As
exams.
simple as
You never stress.
Yeah.
Now why what is it so hard? So she was concerned as a mother. But then I would not tell her why, because I stopped eating some
it
stuff.
was the reason because you were a Muslim. That was the
Yes,
reason.
I would. You would not feel it. I would go
You
to
didn't
church,
feel
but then
it was
you would
just
not feel it. And the more I would be in that environment, it would make me hate even the people. I don't know how to hate anyone. I can't hate
and that
anyone.
didn't
But
happen.
then it would make
Yeah.
me. It would not please
And
me.
that didn't happen only after accepting Islam.
Yes.
I think it makes you out of the blue, and
Yes,
you're
and
like
it makes
get
you
mad.
actually feel like you're a misfit. It makes you feel like this is not
Yes.
where you're supposed to be.
And the more you stay, the more you get irritated about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then I was like, time passed. I came back around November, and then World Cup had already, ended and stuff. I kept on with my school and my business and whatever. But then my conduct changed. My attitude changed. I stopped eating some food. Alhamdulillah, even when I was not Muslim, I've never eaten pork. I've never, because I used to be more of a healthy, conscious person, and even my family. Like I would not, my body, my diet, my food was always tracked. I think it even helped me to build a strong immune that I would not even fall sick. So there's when you become Muslim, I know when you get yourself into something, if you want to do something, you need to learn how to perfect it, how to achieve it. You want to be a great footballer, you need to learn from great footballers, you need to do research. So I became a Muslim and I had to find out how can I be a good Muslim, because this is something that I chose from my will and passion. No one forced it onto me, because no one ever told me and convinced me become a Muslim and whatever. If anyone came, it would be hard for them to convince me, I believe, and I'm sure I would. So I was like, okay, I stopped, because bunnies, rabbits, we eat them, but in Islam they're not allowed.
Bunnies? No, it's allowed.
No, it's allowed.
They are allowed.
Yeah.
Their difference of opinion.
The animals with no separated hooves
Yeah.
are not allowed to be eaten.
There's difference of opinion. on
Yes, the hooves. It is one of the factors that are considered to choose an animal to eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
If the hooves are not separated.
Yeah.
So for me, I used to eat many animals. I've eaten a crocodile. I've eaten animals and whatever. So I had to check on whatever I eat. The reason as why is not to eat. Me personally, I would not eat the duck. I would not eat the pig or pork, whatever it is. The meat is pork and then the animal is pig, because of the hygiene attached to them. These two creatures are not hygienic. They are not clean at all.
Yeah.
The ducks and the pigs, ew, astaghfirullah. They are disgusting. So I was like, it's all good. It kept on. I was now in hiding. Whatever I do, in hiding. I try to whatever anything that has to do with Islam, I do it in hiding. My self-esteem had to low down. I used to engage in these workshops of Christianity and all. Personally, I had a charity organization under my name, whatever. But it is a charity organization, but with a basis or foundation of Christianity.
Yes.
To make them become.
Of course, this is how it is. Even if this is part of religion. I don't believe there's any religion that does not encourage helping, does not encourage looking up for the less privileged and all. So it was not doing this intentionally, personally, because it was my own investment and my own. It is something I came up with. It is because I had passion to help these kids. I love children, and then it is a way that I would do. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Having to.
So you started becoming
Yes,
more
I did
practicing.
I did this, but then because I also needed the funds at some point, because I would not do things by myself. So when church members and whatever heard about this, whatever I'm doing, they started to donate, to give in funds, to give in clothes, because our church is more of a church of investors, Chinese investors, people that have companies, people have manufacturing, processing companies and whatever. So a person can have a textile company and they choose to give you like a sacks of clothes. to help you in this. This is a good thing. And this is natural. If you do something good for a person, you've done it with a helping or a heart for yourself that you are good. But then, because you are Christian, it will also create a good image for the religion. You understand? Despite it is not your intention. So, if the way these kids would even adopt the religion, but then analyzed this, I realized it, and then I'm like, I'm Muslim deep inside, because Islam is through submission to the will of Allah. Islam is not, it does not have to do with anything. It does not have to do with whatever you put on. Even if I walked in here wearing something that is social and whatever, Islam, it is the heart, the soul, and Allah. But then gradually, when you accept, you learn to see, how does a Muslim dress? How does a Muslim eat? How does a Muslim sleep? The dab ta'am, dab naum, and all. But initially, you will not learn this. You will not. These are things that are gradual. They will happen gradually, because you're not going to learn everything in one day.
Yeah.
If we would learn this, the ulamas and the knowledgeable people will not even be doing more research and inquiring and learning more, because we can never stop learning. So yeah, I stopped the charity. I did not stop, but gradually I lost passion for it. I love doing this, but I feel bad that the people that are investing in it are not Muslims and all. And I'm deep inside, I feel like, yeah, I'm Muslim. I have shahad on my lips, but my actions were not very Islamic.
And where did that shift happen? Where it now
Where-
became shahad
where-
on your lips and at the same time in your
So
action.
I was like, I would say I'm Sofian, I'm Collins. I have whatever it takes. I'm listened to and whatever. I was like, no, I'm tired of hiding stuff from my mom. I was not raised to keep secrets. I always talk to my mom, because my mom is very close. Is my best friend that I will tell anything. So I would have this guilt in me, because I really love her a lot, and then I know how much she loves me and whatever. So it's like, it's high time I told this lady. So I opened up to her. In my family, I think you may see me talking a lot, but we don't talk. People don't talk a lot. Maybe when they become free with you and easy with you, but they don't. So,
But you know, the hardship we went through and all of these things after you have accepted Islam, this is what we want for part 2.
Yes.
So don't spoil it, you know, because
Yeah.
we're excited for that, you know. But the thing is, you had the realization that I'm a Muslim.
but it was all behind curtains. It was in shadows.
And when
So I would feel this conviction always. I would know, and you know, if you do something bad, we have a saying that a guilty mind is not accuser. If you're guilty, if you know you did something, it is easy to find out that someone did it. So I was doing all this, I would pray secretly and whatever.
you were feeling,
But then I would feel bad, because I would feel like I was like, either with me, I'd rather come clean than keeping secrets. If I have an issue with you and I care about you, I'm gonna come to you and I tell you this, this, and this. I'm not saying it because I want to do anything bad to you. I'm doing it for my own sanity, for my own self, to get it out of me. And when I do this, I'm healing myself. I can even come and apologize to you. Think, this guy is soft and whatever. No, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for you.
and
when I do this, it gives me more peace. It also shows how I would say open-minded, and how acceptable I get to analyze and accept I'm at fault or I'm wronged, and then I make it known, and then I apologize to you. So with that, it go easy.
So
things stand up when my mom my mom did not react right there and then, because I know her.
And this is where
she just looked and she's like, oh, you became Muslim.
You told them you became a Muslim.
Yes.
I became a Muslim.
And with this smile, because I'm an easy person and I'm chill, I'm joyous, I'm happy. I'm like, yes, I become Muslim, and it is amazing. I like
you
it.
expected her not to.
I did not expect her to
Really?
be even, because she's my friend.
Also, you accepted.
I know.
You thought she will accept you.
Yes.
But she.
I'm going to tell you, people are different. My mom is the kind of person that you will do the worst thing, and your expectation of her reaction is not whatever you will ever find in her.
Whoa.
Just like the way a kid does something bad,
Yeah.
they expect you to come and yeah, you want
Why
you
not
want-
on
and
camera?
instead of doing this to the kid, for them they expect that
Yes, yes.
you smile at them, embrace them, hug them. If you have a drink or whatever, give it to them. In my mind, you are now fighting what we call a tertiary battle, a
Yes.
psychological battle between you and the kid. This kid is just developing. So with this, the kid is gonna question is like, I've spilled tea all over around. I've done the craziest stuff. Why is dad not beating me up? Because the kid is expecting this.
Yes.
So we are not. Our intention towards nurturing and raising a child is not to beat them, is not to afflict pain,
So-
but it is to
yeah.
teach them.
So you
This
would
is what
say,
my mom did.
so we would say that your next phase began once you told your mother about this event.
Exactly.
And this is where
Because
we're gonna stop.
her reaction, me, I expected her to, because I knew someone who's supportive,
Yeah. And
who
then
will support you with whatever.
this is heartbreaking. You know that. Like,
Yeah, actually, that
it's
is.
unbelievable.
To whom?
First of all, obviously to him.
And then,
Imagine
It
you
is- it
you
is a
expect
two-way.
your mother. You are the best friends with your mother. You expected her because you're joyful. As you
Yeah.
said, you came with a joy, like you
Okay.
expected an acceptance, but then you got a unexpected.
Do you know the pushing factor of every child, of every person, to achieve whatever goal they are on, even if they're in a Quranic school and they're trying to learn the Quran and recite it?
Yeah.
The feeling, the satisfaction, the comfort, they know that I have a supporting family.
Yeah.
My family is there for me. They know I'm doing this. They are going to support me. Even if I fail, they're going to get
Validation,
me
yeah.
up. Like
Yeah.
there's that validation and gratification that is on. So it's what I thought my mom would
Yeah.
do that.
And-
Well, she half a stand.
Oof. And let me do this.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of your new phase. A beginning
Yes,
of a whole
whereby
new
I've
phase.
come out. Not
Yeah.
the coming out, this secular
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
out. The come out of the
Of-
shadows. And I'm like, you know what?
That's it.
I've
It's
joined.
me against the world.
Yes, exactly. And
Zip.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I've accepted my fate.
Yeah.
This and this, I'm ready to take
And
it
we're
on.
gonna talk about how, first of all, we're gonna be beginning that part in the next part, which is how that made you feel when the most beloved person in your whole life, gave you a
different reaction.
different reaction to something that means so much to you. But
Exactly. That's the deepest
this
pain.
is the deepest, and this is where we are going to begin in the next part, which is soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And we enjoyed talking to you, Sofian.
See,
And we
The
would love
pleasure is
to,
all mine.
and we would love to have
you
a 10 episodes with Sofian,
Yeah.
because the stories are many, and anyone who experienced
Inshallah.
and talked with Harun, with Sofian, he understood that, understood the stories and everything, So we'll end it right here and expect us in the second part, which is the beginning of the new phase
of Sofian
of
Collins.
Sofian Collins. It's me against the world with Sofian. First, it was me, my mother, my family against everyone else. But once that breakthrough happened, it became Collins against the world.
Exactly.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. And before that, do you have anything you want to conclude by?
All I can say is Alhamdulillah. Verily, with hardship comes ease.
الحمد لله.
Jazakallah khair.
بارك الله فيكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
ناقل العلامات انت تدريبه مدعيكم غايب عنا والحكم ميوز في الغيبة ينبغي الإنسان يتأنى ويحكم بأحكام مصيبة لا تحس بالحيف ذا منا النصف ناخذ ونعطيبه سوي يميل وبلغه عنا بالسلام وألف ترحيب عنا خط بكتابك بترحيبه لو سرى بك ليلك وجنة بالدجا في الليل